Hello everyone, and welcome back to an exciting new episode of EXAPUNKS, where we're going to just keep doing what we were doing before. I thought about this in the past couple of days. I don't think I recorded anything yesterday, but I'm now no longer quite so sure. Oh yeah, definitely didn't. Okay, so we had this trouble of like synchronize. We wrote what seems like a correct algorithm, except for the synchronization between bots, right? And in particular, the guy who sits out here and tracks the index that we're on was a problem. So what I had in mind was part of the reason there are problems is that we have this guy over here, right? Who's reading here. He's reading the index file, right? Here he goes. And what is his algorithm? He like scans through to find who he's looking for to read, and he finds them and sends it. And then he has to like say, hey, you know, what index was I at again? And then go searching through the file for the right symbol, and then go back, and you know, it's a big long process to just begin reading every time, because he has to scan through a file to find where the index is relative to. And meanwhile, like, look at this guy, our memory bot. Like, what is he doing exactly? He's just like saving one value, right? X. What if he could save 2? Wouldn't that be great? I think it would be great if he saved, rather than which chunk number we're working on, i.e. like the 7th, say, byte of data about person A, and then go look up where person A is. Just do a first pass where this indexer finds the offsets of the first two finds the offsets in the file where the records that we want to start. Send both of those to this guy who's got some extra memory space. Then, when it's time to like start doing something new, we can just ask, hey, what was my position again? Seek to exactly that position and know that it's right. Not have to scan through the book again. And God, on the one hand, there's like, this is not a very editable program, right? Looking in here and figuring out where to make a change is not easy. And so I'm tempted to say, look, why don't we just throw it away and start over? What do we really have that's useful? Some swizzles and a copy and paste, like, which we could write again pretty easily. Whereas if we try to edit things, like, who knows what we'll get wrong? I think I'm gonna actually do that. So we'll call this one stream, and let's go grab the other one and call it index, because we're sort of conceptually, the previous one was working with indexes, you know, how far we are. Now we're working with just sort of a stream of like the bytes in the file, and there's sort of a nice I was going to say kind of a nice like, once we've read the this value, if we read that it's a symbol, it sort of is okay for this bot to just explode, because he's the one in charge of spawning new guys. And if we read like we don't even have to keep track, is what I'm saying, is of how many of the chunks for each record we've read. If we just keep going until we get to here and explode, that'll be, I think, okay. The only question is what to do with the bot out here who's maintaining these things. And maybe there's just nothing to be done about that. Is there some way we could like have him implicitly die off and then replace him, but only if necessary? It's not so easy. So I think maybe we will actually just test whether this is a keyword, and if so, then come out here and kill the other guy. He doesn't really have enough memory to try, like, to see if the number he's looking at, you know, what is it equal to, mod 11 or whatever. Okay. So, what I would like to do is to... And the relieving ourselves of the need to have book 300 around means, I think, that we could maybe, like, fit everyone into this one room? Right. I don't know. Not really. We still want these two to communicate over global, because local is going to be occupied with file copy operations. But yeah, okay. We don't need to keep moving back and forth into this room, is what I'm getting at, I guess. So let's start by grabbing 300. And then link to 800, link to 801. Now we just want to do a first pass where we grab the values, the offsets that these people start at, and send them to someone. So, in fact, it would be nice if we could replicate the instant we find the right value, rather than replicating here. Actually, if I just, like, don't... Yeah, maybe I'll have the bot who lives here. So it's sort of difficult to read a name from this file and then go searching for it in this other file while keeping track of an index, right? Because you have to ugh. You'd have to, like, keep picking up the old file and checking, like, wait, is this equal? Yeah, I don't know. It's actually not so easy. And so I was thinking then of having a bot who's just constantly broadcasting the values we're looking for over the global M channel until we decide we're done with him and we kill him off. As like a sort of persistent storage of these things. So what if we had this guy be the name bot, right? NM. And his job is just grab a 300, copy F to M, copy F to M, seek -2, jump to say. I don't know. He's saying things, right? He does this forever. Actually, it would be kind of nice if you wiped the file. So what we could do instead is take the copies outside of the loop, put them in X and T. And we just copy X to M, copy T to M. And we'll be scanning through this file, ignoring half of his messages and listening only to the half we care about while we look for the name. And then once we've got the indexes we need, we feed those to some other slave in the room using a local M. That guy receives the message, goes over here and kills this guy, and then takes over the job of broadcasting the offsets that we need. That's my idea. So let's link 800, link 801, grab 200, and now we begin the He actually has to do exactly the same thing twice? Do we want to just repeat it? It's a little tricky because we need to, in between those two times, throw away one value from the global M. And it's not so easy to do that with a repeat operation. Is it? I don't know. Let's just do it by hand. So mark name1 as test whether f is equal to m. And we can scan through 11 bytes at a time, which is a bit faster, I guess. The question is, do we want to... Oh, I typed Zoppy down there. If it is, I kind of want to void M here, but I actually kind of don't. It's just a little bit tricky to keep our X in sync and also to keep the file pointer. Like, should I seek forward by 10 and then change my mind and go back like I've been doing in previous exercises? I guess so. I'll just seek by 10 here. And then T-jump to, well, no, I think we can do it this way. There's some other stuff we kind of want to do. So I need to maintain my X pointer. Zero, so yeah, so let's like T-jump to found one. Let's mark found one here as I don't know exactly what. Otherwise, we seek 10, add 11 to X, and jump back to name 1. And also void M. So this should, I think, get us... Oh, that's right, he finds it immediately. this finds us it gets us a pointer to the offset. The file is currently pointing at exactly where we want it to be, right? And we want to seek by 10 anyway, so what am I even thinking? And I guess we kind of want to start, in fact, by copying 1 to x, because our offset will be... No. We can just send him a value that's 1 less than where we want to be. It'll be fine. We'll just add 1 whenever when we use the value. So we've sent him... We now have the value we want to go to in x. And what we can do is REPL to save. Mark save as, okay, we have x, the value we wanted in our register already from being replicated. And we just need to switch to local mode to copy m into t, right? Then we can link -1, link -1, and kill this guy and take over the global broadcasting mode. In fact, oh no, we do have to do that first. We need to wait. We need to be in local mode while we wait for this guy. Okay. I was thinking it would be nice to be out here so we can kill him as fast as possible, but in fact this is as fast as possible. The file's already wiped, right? Yeah, so we don't have to worry about that. I guess it doesn't matter. Actually, to leave no trace, you just have to not have a file be in the host when you exit. So we could leave this here. This guy doesn't even have to wipe the file. Okay. And having done this, we can switch back to global mode. All right, so hang on. This should be here. REPL to save. Now, the file is pointing at the beginning of bytes for part 1. No, because we already sought forward by 10. So we're pointing like here, right? And we just need to not void m this time. We do need to add to x though. Feels a little silly to duplicate this instruction after we jumped around it. But otherwise this guy would just be subtracting, so like what's the difference, I guess. We need to switch to local mode. And I added 11. File pointer is here. So we just want to test whether f, let's mark name 2. Test whether f is equal to m. Seek forward by 10. Hang on. Right. Yes, I want to have sought forward by 10, but not updated my x, which is what I've done so far. And here, a seek forward by 10 doesn't really matter, so we might as well do it. The file pointer is irrelevant if we found the thing we're looking for. All we need to know is x. And so if it was... T-jump to found 2. Otherwise, we void m and jump back to name. mark name 2. No, found 2. So this is what we do when we found the second name. Oh, I need to add 11 to x here. We just copy x to m. Am I in local mode? Yes. And having made that transmission, we're switching now permanently back into global mode to begin coordinating with the guy out here who has all the messages we want, right? So let's see how this does. We should get a single bot out here who is mark byte, let's say. His job is just to copy x to m, copy. No, we're not copying because we're adding x and 1. We are off by 1 with our pointers here. Like so. Would it somehow be useful to read through the file backward? Because then like something could count down to 0 and I don't know. I don't think that would work. Okay, fine. So, and then we just jump back to... no. We need to copy them into X and into T as well, because we're the one incrementing. Let me just copy... Copy X to M. Copy T to M. So this guy should be broadcasting ever-increasing byte offsets, starting in pairs, right? Starting from the location where we first read some stuff. What are you up to, XA? What are you doing? You're stuck. Why? Testing whether f is equal to m. But there's nothing on m. Got it. Why not? Shouldn't this guy be broadcasting things to you? He is, and you just swallowed them both, right? He's in global mode. We're in local mode. We switched modes too soon. Yes, we can only make this transfer once we have found the second offset. Okay. We're scanning all the names quite efficiently. Now we found the name we wanted. We've concluded indeed that we have found it. No, not yet. We're about to find it. Okay. So we switch to local mode and give this guy the second offset. And then we just die, which is fine. We kill this guy. Now, you have good values. You're saying go to offset 1, and then soon you'll say to go to offset 89, which looks about right to me. Cool. I didn't check, actually. Were you in... I learned, by the way, someone pointed out... I finally watched the comments for like the first couple episodes because, as you guys know, I record sometimes well in advance, and I've been playing a lot of this game, so I had a lot of episodes in the queue. Finally watched the episodes for the first couple, the comments for the first couple episodes, and someone pointed out that in the chat they mentioned a few like useful the like fake IRC chat in the game. There's a couple like useful debugging tips, including jump to instruction in the debugger. So what we can do is just take this guy and say like, just skip till here, will ya? The time when this guy is dead. I don't remember why and now I wanted to do this. Okay, but I did want to, apparently. Yeah, so these values seem fine. I wanted to see what mode he was in, and it was global mode. Right? Does it, like, depend on which... I want this one, XA0, to get to this line, because no one else ever will. And now he's in global mode to begin broadcasting. Very good. So, let's go back to look at the indexer. Instead of just halting, your job is to mark read, and you just seek to 0, no, not 0, backwards as far as you can, and then forward by m, the offset of the first value we want. Copy f into x, and test whether... So I learned also from, I guess, Reddit, a better way to test for keywords than to like explode, which is what we did way back then in the disk read thing. Apparently the manual mentions that if you do a test against a keyword with a number, it always returns false. I had assumed that would count as math, because I read the thing saying if you do math, such as, and then it lists like every math operation and says for example, and I thought that it meant therefore like it includes tests. But apparently you can test whether x is less than, say, this, which is like always false. No. I want to do this. Test whether it's greater than that. If so, it's a number. If not, it's a keyword. And if we found another keyword, we must be done. So we're just going to t-jump to end, where end is link -1 twice, and kill the guy who's standing here broadcasting stuff, and then halt. Otherwise, it must be time to actually do something. And so we just REPL reader. We fork off a process to go read that value, right? Mark reader. And he already has X in his hot little hands, so we don't have to send it. I wonder if it would be simpler to just not use global communication for talking to the... Well, it's kind of hard, isn't it? I was thinking we could, like, after you've read the file that has the data you want, bring it out into the main hallway here and just drop it. And then someone will be by to pick it up shortly. But that's hard to do because you need to know the file ID. You can't just say grab whatever's lying there. In absolutely dire straits, we could have the writer come back to this room, or the reader come back to this room and ask, hey, where should I put this file? Yeah, maybe that's easier, because this guy's constantly broadcasting junk. Yeah, that probably is easier. Okay, so anyway, here's the reader. We have X. What we're going to do is not handle the reader yet. First, we handle the indexer and have him get ready to spawn off a writer. Well, he is not going to spawn something. He just needs to get ready to broadcast it, right? To inform the guy who did the reading where to put the file. And so he can do that in local mode, I think, right? So we'll just copy M into X. This is the global M. Mark right, let's say. We're gonna do the same thing. Seek -99. Seek M. Copy. No. Switch modes and then copy F to M. Sending it to the reader who has by now returned to this room to ask for further instructions. Switch. So we're not even scanning here. We don't even need this mark. Where there's no loop like there was before. We just do it. No, we do because mark. Let's call this a chunk. Let's say. Could call it a gene because we're doing DNA copying, but okay, a chunk. We copy F to M. We switch back to global mode, and we just jump back to chunk now, right? Yeah. Now, the reader, he needs to link -1 swizzle X. God, how does swizzle masks work again? I'm not going to show you guys the manual, it's boring. We swizzle, what order? First. Jesus, where's the example of swizzling? Swizzling is the worst. I can't search this file. Oh yeah, there are examples. They just okay. So we want the second. We want the hundreds bit, which is a 3. Oh, hang on. This mask is simpler to understand. Okay. So it's 300. No, it's 0003 to get the hundreds bit into the ones position. Mask comes second. Okay. Into T. Link. No. Add 800 to T. Link T. Storing the result in T, please. Swizzle X by 0002 into T. Rebel to read, I guess. I don't know. I guess do that first. So here's no. Let's copy Rebel to pay. Jeez, I don't know. Copy. I'm no good at this. Mark copy. So the copier makes a new file. The original uses the old file. Grab. No. Add 200 to T and then grab T. T. Finally, swizz x like this into t. Seek by t. And then begin the copying process, which needs to happen on local. Are we on local? No, we're not. So the reader wants to switch to local mode here first. Now we repeated 10 times, copy M to, no, F to M. And then honestly, just halt. You're done. You read the bits you wanted, and somebody got them. The copy guy makes a file. And copies all the stuff into it. Now he links -1, links to 801, copies M into X, telling him where to go. Link -1, and now we do like basically this again, except maybe like we REPL the different person does this REPL. But okay, so we did link -1. So is this into T? Go into that link. We REPL. But to paste instead. And paste is the one who does this part. I guess paste also does repeat 10, copy M to F, and halt, I think. Is there danger of a race condition where one X is reading a disk while the other one's writing it? It seems like there actually is, because we're pretty fast at like spawning off new processes now that we don't have all this seeking. Well, that probably is a bug, and it'll be interesting to encounter. So here, we just 10 times copy F to M. But first, seek to the beginning of the file that we're carrying. And then halt. I'm sure I'm missing something, but I'd like to see what happens so far. Okay. Everyone just died. I guess I should have stepped to somewhere more useful, huh? So let's, go here. You're now at the beginning of the file in global mode. Why did seeking by M cause him to die? Oh, this guy was still broadcasting it, and it was not a useful thing. So does that give us enough time? Yes, now we're blocked waiting on M. And the other guy sends it to us, and indeed it's the right thing. Okay, so we do that. Cannot move this file. Yeah, I agree, you shouldn't move that file. Wait, why? What happened? Why did you die? Maybe he didn't, and I just, like, was confused. True jump to end. And then he went there. Why? He thinks the game's over. It should be F jump. That's why. Also, by the way, in end, I forgot an important step, I think? Yeah. Which is to drop the file we're carrying. If we don't drop it, it will explode when we cross this barrier, and we won't get here to kill the guy who's standing here. So here we are in Chunk again. He's decided not to end, but rather to start a reader who goes off to do some work. And meanwhile, we're ready with a writer. What are the readers up to? They're copying the file somewhat successfully, one imagines, I guess. That guy's dead, and we're carrying out our stolen file with some stuff. And we say, where do you want this again? Great. Yeah, so there's some real danger that this guy is gonna repel something, isn't he? Yeah. And if we two were already in here... Right, if we had been in this room... I guess it's fine. There wouldn't be room for him to repel. We'd have filled up the room too fast, right? So we would block in that case, which is good, because it means that... Because we can't afford to spawn anymore. So I think it's on purpose that there's exactly enough room for... Or no. We would fit into this room, because one X would be standing on this spot, and one would be standing here. There'd be room for this guy to replicate. But importantly, no room for him to, like, re-enter the room and try to broadcast to his friend or something. Ah, but he would be getting a message from here? By that time, we'll be out of his hair, though, I think. I don't know, it's a little exciting. Uh-oh, here he is. What's he gonna do? He wants to repel, but he can't. We're busy. Okay, so one problem is we forgot to wipe this file. And here. The other guy wiped the file, but that was useful. Or died. He halted, but that was useful. So let's seek to here, I guess. We're copying all this stuff. We died. And what are you about? You came from him. Perfect. So you're now copying some values. And I'm not totally clear on what's going on, but it might be good. This guy's reading into here. What are these two up to? Everyone is stuck. We cannot make progress. Something went wrong. I guess the problem is that there's no back pressure, right? This guy is just spawning off workers like pretty fast. And he's spawning them by writing to local M. Right, it's fine for him to spawn the reader while some other writer is going on. That's okay, I think, although it might not be. So, I was thinking originally it would be kind of cool to be doing this in parallel, like, and it should be manageable, right? But I'm starting to have my doubts about just how manageable that is. And it would be a lot simpler, I think, if there was only one guy going at once. The easiest way to manage that would be to have the master resign after it finishes giving out the writer instructions, and then when the writer finishes, he takes over the role of master. Right? Since the only value that's needed is being broadcast by this guy, it's easy to take over. Is there some way we could have this guy take over? I don't think so. It doesn't seem like a great idea. he could, like, maybe... we want to wait for the writer to be done. And it's actually pretty easy to do, to make that change. We just, why do I have no up here? That's right, to wait for the other guy to become ready. Although, I wouldn't need it if they were here instead. I don't know, this is simpler. So, instead of jumping back to chunk, we just halt. Means we don't need to switch modes, that's nice. And then the writer, when it's finished, where is that? It's paste who does this, right? Yeah. Instead of halting, he goes link -1, link 801, jump chunk, and takes over, right? What happens if I do that? So we found some stuff, we go and we copy it. That guy's died, and now we're in the middle of, like, it's time to start writing to this file. They both exploded. Why? Alright, well, let's find out what happens if I say jump to instruction and it's like a different exa who executes it. Does that occur? Does it work? Yeah, until some exa gets there, apparently. Okay. So I want to look at this guy. No, he's pasting. I want to look at this guy. Oh, he probably tries to carry the file away with him, right? Is what happens? Yeah. So that's easy to fix. We do have to drop the file. Well, actually, it would be a little bit cleaner if it was instead the guy who's doing the pasting, or here. This guy's already wiping, which means he's got no file anyway. And therefore doesn't need an extraneous drop operation, which the other guy would need. So this one should be the one who takes over after he's done writing some stuff. Although I guess he'll have to grab 200 again? The other guy was carrying it forever, and therefore... Yeah. Also, I might need to switch him into global mode. I don't remember if I did that. So, yeah, I need to grab 200 again. It's a bit annoying. Nothing for it, I guess. Here. He was in local mode, but needs to enter global mode, right? Because in chunk we assume we're in global mode. Correct. Here he goes, he grabs the file. And where is he? Here, perfect. Seeks minus 909. And seeks to M. M was totally wrong. Should have been back here. Did too many messages go over global M? Yeah, X was way too big. What happened? So let's... look at, like, I don't know, here where we, here where we're about ready to transfer over. What's this guy up to? He's got the number 7 somehow. That's not right. It should be like 3, right? He increased this way too many times. I didn't think I needed to watch out for this guy. He's pretty simple, right? This guy's just broadcasting a bunch of useless junk. Now we killed him, and we have 0 and 88. We broadcast the 0. He's got it. And we send in 89. And we're about to send a 2, which seems right. Oh, no, someone received it. Oh. Wait, who received it? So we killed this guy, we sent a 1. We're now sending 89, which he has received. Right? And this guy, XA, what are you up to? you... Okay, this is fine. You've just asked for the offset. No. You've asked for too much stuff. Why? Did I forget to void some M's at some point? Maybe? Oh, I bet I did. Yes. No, I don't need to void M's. That was just for the first searching for the name. God, how has it been an hour already? I just started. Alright, we need to pay more attention to XA. Apparently he is misbehaving. Found the first name. Now we're going to go scan for the second name, and this is all going fine. We get to 88, and we say, oh, there it is. We switch to local mode. Why? To tell the guy saving memory to what to save for us. Very good. Here you go, have it. Switch back to global mode. We seek M, which we don't get until the memory bot is ready for us. We copy it. And then we say, yeah, that's a number all right. Let's keep doing work. Make a reader. Copy the global M into X. And seek to it. We switch to local mode. We copy F to M. So we're just waiting here with a 319 for a writer to arrive. That's correct. That's what I wanted to happen. And it seems to be happening. Meanwhile, this guy's ready to broadcast a 90. Which doesn't seem right. Shouldn't he be... So like 90 is the second byte of the second person's file. We don't have a second reader yet. Shouldn't we be broadcasting 3? What happened to the value 3? It's like clear as day to me that we broadcast X and then we broadcast M. In that order, for sure. So... what's the deal? Where did his 3 or whatever that he wrote go? Okay, let's watch him like a hawk. I mean, I guess what we really ought to do is jump to here and watch him. So he sends a 1. I guess it should be a 2 he sends, actually, not a 90. And then copies T to M. That's 89. The writer gets that. We add X to M, and we're sending a 2. And it just goes. How? Why are you still alive? Did I forget a halt or something? The writer... chunk. He says... copy F to X. Copy M to X. Wait, what? Seek X. Not M. Oh, we can just destroy this copy and just seek by M immediately. I was doing... Here, I needed a test, and so I copied M twice. Or copied M into X and then operated on X twice. But here, I don't need the value multiple times. I can just seek to that location, and then copy F to M, and then immediately halt. And that looks much better, I suspect. Right, this guy's sending an 89, which is correct. The first offset to write to. And now, yes, now he's waiting with a 2. That's much better. This guy has died, and no one has received the 2, which is great. Now we seek to the offset 2 and grab this value. Perfect. I think there's some end condition that I'm missing, but I don't know what it is. I'm gonna hit play and see what happens. Yes. We seem to have died. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Right, I remember now. The trick is, after you're done reading the last byte of the second... well, wait. Why did we die, actually? What I was thinking was, when our termination condition is this, right? Copy F into X and then test whether it's a number or not. But that might actually explode, right? We might be at the end of the file at this time. We shouldn't be in this first test, but something killed us. So what I would like to do first is test EOF, T-jump to die? Or no, end is what I called it. Because I still need to clean up cleanly in this case. Okay, so what I want to do now is like just let me read these chunks one at a time, please. Everyone died. Yeah, you're doing stuff. And you're sending 313? Oh, sure. That's a file address, not an address in not an offset in this file, the index file. He died. Why? Oh, that's what he's supposed to do. I forgot. Okay. So this chunk, not at the end of file. It wasn't a keyword. So spawn someone to do the reading and then the writing. And then halt. Okay. This process all seems pretty good so far, honestly. When does someone take over? He grabs this. And what message are we getting? We're getting a 5, which is perfectly reasonable. Why is he saying star 12? What does that mean? I don't know. That's probably just like he's a fork of a fork of a fork, I guess. Something like that. So this iteration's all going fine. Okay, maybe I just overreacted when I saw this guy die. He's supposed to die. Maybe everything is fine. We're up to like number 6. So... the offset that should be most interesting is 11, right? He's sending a 9, which is all fine. And then everyone died. Why did you die here? What happened? he must have been on his way to go write a file. Yes? Because this guy's trying to broadcast a read address, which means we already received the write address. So and he had a file with him. So he was on his way to write this file somewhere, and something went wrong. So that would be here. So copy does this, it goes back up, copies into X the address it wants to use, goes out, swizzles high order bit into T, adds 800, links over it. So this link failed somehow. I wish there was a, like, jump to same instruction again. Because even, like, finding the address I want is difficult. I guess I can do this. So it was on, like, 8 or something? Maybe 9 was the problem? So what do you have in your X? Is it, like, reasonable? 433. That ought to be okay. You're going to 804. Sure. How about the next guy? 801. 801? 8? Oh wait, what line did he just execute? Numeric value required. What in the world? Oh, his X register is A. What? What happened? How do you even, like, properly debug this? I'm gonna just have the guy who's waiting up here and, like, use him as my stepping stone to figure out where we're jumping to. So, like, here please, a few times. Actually, he's sort of hard to hang on to, isn't he? Stuff jumps around. There we go. And it was EXO, like, number 24 or something who died off? So we just sent a 6. No, we're waiting to send a 6, and so far nothing bad has happened. We're waiting to send a 7, and nothing bad has happened. I think 8 was the problem. This guy. He looks fine, 433. He goes to the right place. We're done copying to the file. 21 is now taking over the index reading job. He grabs this. Show me your file, please. It's here. And you're about to get an 8. So you seek forward by 8, right? To here. Pretty reasonable. Where do you even get a fucking A? Like one of these DNA files, obviously, but why on earth? Here's 24. Oh. It is a problem that we're using local M for everything here, right? We walked into the room where the index is being kept, and yeah, everything got like misaligned. Okay, so fine. What this means is that we cannot really use a single master to coordinate, because even his local communications are troubling. He needs to just REPL something else to go handle the job of... He needs, in fact, just to read the value and go handle it himself. And then when he's done... What? When he's done, he can himself fork a process to read the index for him again. And then he'll go do the writing. Yeah. Ah! I know we're like, this time is crazy, but I feel like I'm so close to being done. So we need to change what happens in chunk. We in fact don't REPL to reader. We just like do it. We do reader. We become the reader ourselves. Which means dropping the file that we were working with, right? We had just the index file. In fact, we don't need this. And then we do all this stuff, and we halt, which seems okay. The copier, he goes back to that room. But this is, wait, is this too late? Ah, here. We need to REPL a reader. The reader's job is to grab 200. Actually, yes, we do need to REPL because the other guy is still holding an important file. Okay. And here's what reader does. Otherwise, well, actually, let's put reader somewhere much lower, right? I don't know. Here. Okay. Now, if we didn't REPL to reader, we just copy M. Ah, and reader doesn't need to mess with modes because he's just... yeah, he does. He needs to switch back to global mode, read a thing, switch back to local mode to transmit it, and then die. And here, we're still in local mode, so we just grab the value and it's fine. So what happens from this? The guy who was originally the master now goes off on his own to copy the file, which is lovely. And then he dies and lets the forked child take over. We bring the file back and we say, hello, I need someone to tell me where to put this. And he says, 528, please. And then that just winks out of existence. Okay, this seems cool. Now we never have multiple X's communicating over the same channel at the same time because there's always only one copy operation, one operation at all going on. All right. A lot of activity, obviously. Oh! We killed this guy. That's good news. So, what went wrong? We did not modify the target files correctly. Why? These all look completely bunkers wrong, right? But, like, I was good. I did good. Overwrite. All right. Let's look at the goal, right? So this file. Let's do this by hand a little bit. We look at 200, right? And it says beginning at 540 is where the president is. And my belief is we should be copying. Yeah. We should be copying the first thing on top of the second thing. So we should go read what's at 540, which is here. CTATC, we'll just remember that. CTATC should go into, CTATC should go into 528. CTATC 528 CTATC should be at the beginning of this file once we're done, right? And is that what? Oh, 528, not 520. Yeah, CTATC is right there. See here. So I am correctly understanding what the goal was. It was to copy that to here. And somehow I didn't do that. So let's watch this file as these operations occur and see if we indeed get even the first write operation successful. First of all, you. What file are you carrying? CTATC. Good. And you have brought it here to be pasted into file 202. Oh my god. I forgot a thing that I did in the last one. If I had just copied, I probably would have remembered. We don't want to seek just by t when we're done here. We need to multiply by 10. The offset of the block was wrong. Okay. So we need this. All of our seeks are wrong, and we fix them just like so. Just change these swizzles to 10 instead of 1, and it ends up in a different position. How do we do now? Did we get the right thing into this position? CTATC is here. Perfect. Okay. There's a guy on the Reddit who was boasting that he had... Oh, thank God we won the game. He was boasting that he had done this puzzle. It looks like we didn't win the game, actually. We're not making any progress for some reason. He had done this puzzle with an activity score of 6, which is the absolute minimum, right? Move into here, repel into each of these rooms, and never move again. Pretty impressive stuff, I think, organizing all that. But we have failed. Why? We couldn't even find... Well, no, show me test 2, please. XA should be searching for Senator Walker Kane Jr. He gets there. Great. And what does he do? He said, oh, I found it. Great. Let's store 77 into X. Throw away a message. Wait. What happened? He died. So he should at some point like he should be getting Senator whatever every time, right? No, he shouldn't be looking for Senator yet. He should be looking for the president first. Actually, I think he was doing fine. We said, is it equal to the president? I don't know. And then we threw away the message about the senator. Okay, that's correct. So where's the president's thing? It's like at the very end. Okay. We're throwing away this message about the senator. We say, is F equal to M? Or M is president whatever. And F is the president. We say yes. So we T-jump. We found him. We replicate to save, and we say, here's your offset. It's 88. We forgot to seek to the beginning of the file. Because they could be not ordered in the same way in the file that they were in the input. Okay, that succeeds. No, but then we died for a different reason. Maybe the same reason, I don't know. It looks like we did something successfully, right? We're sending data. We replicate someone and he picks up the index. And he reads out 166. And then dies. Which was probably correct. Now what's XA0 about? He just... No, he just died. Why did he die? So we killed this guy. Now, XA needs to know where to read. And the offset was here, I guess, which seems right. He read that number, dropped the file, and said, oh, I need to go in here and get this from, I guess, whatever offset it was. $137. 1,370. Yeah. That looks correct. Copy a bunch of things over so we can read. We're reading the file now. Then we halt. This guy has hopefully 10 bytes. Yeah. And where is he taking them exactly? To 137, yeah? He forks off saying, please prepare to write to offset 137, or to address 137. This guy's like, well, we're already in room 1. Oh, he switched to global. Do I have the mode wrong somehow? These two guys are already in local mode. But one of them is about to switch to global mode? How did I make it through the first whole puzzle with this mistaken? If, like, I get the modes wrong? Are you kidding? I should be... God, this episode is going on forever. But I'm so close! So close, guys. It should be the same. Every time, it's exactly the same bot who does, like, the stuff. I just need to maintain state correctly. Both in local mode. Which one is about to switch? Oh no, this is correct. He needs to... He has file 200 and he needs to know where he should write to. So he does that. And he says, here's where you're writing to, please. Oh, wait, what? Attempt to what? Cannot read past end of file. Oh, I bet I put the multiply in the wrong place. One of them, anyway. Oh, no, I didn't have a multiply. I had a swizzle, right? I don't get it. But it's when we're getting ready to paste, something bad happens somehow. So I guess I can skip to like the paste part, right? So what are you doing? You're copying M into X. 166. That seems high. It seems extremely high. How did you get 166? Forked you off with an 88. And then we sent you 165. Are there really that many entries? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, there's only 100 entries in the whole file. So how did you get 165? Oh, I forgot to reset X as well, because, yes. I had to seek the beginning of the file because I forgot to do that, but I need to also then copy 0 into X again. Okay, that should take care of it. Yes, everything is going swimmingly now. Alright, I told you guys I was close. So close. Just like 4 more bugs. Ugh, what a slog. I'm sure our scores will be terrible too in pretty much every category. Maybe we do okay in size, but I doubt it. Size is the one we were worst at, and we were actually pretty okay on cycles. Okay. Show test run data. That's new, isn't it? I see. This is my worst something. Cycle or activity. They're the same. Yeah. Okay. I'm surprised I have the worst cycles exactly at the same time as I have the worst activity, but whatever. Oh, my activity is the same every time. Cycles differs. Okay. Wow, are you seeing this? After the information was released, the senator simply admitted to being a clone of the president. I guess you were just setting it back to the way it was before. Processing. Still processing. That's quite the coincidence. Not very realistic, if you ask me. What is going on? I don't really care. Let politics handle itself. Don't be so nihilistic. It does fit in with my theory in a strange way, but I should wait for more evidence before I say anything. Yeah, you tease. Okay. Normally we watch cutscenes at the end of the episode, but this episode is way too long, so we'll watch this one at the beginning of the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.